Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit more today about some cold approach stuff. Something that I think of as switching your mental gears in public is something that you need to be conscious of when you're out there in the real world and you're in situations where you have the opportunity to meet new girls or meet other people and do some of this stuff. Don't squander that time, basically. Think about it like in the sense that it is certainly valuable in the regard of when you're at home sitting on your couch, or you're at work, most likely, or you're in any number of life situations, you don't have the same opportunities to cold approach and meet women as you do in those other sorts of times when you are in the grocery store, you are taking a walk down to your local park, you are out and about wherever you go, or whatever you do in these other times in your life. And one thing that I've noticed is that, it's 2022. We're all glued to our phones basically 24/7. Most of us, let's say, can't walk around much more than 5 minutes without taking a peek at your home screen and looking to see if you got any new notifications or doing, some whatever small task on your phone very frequently throughout the course of your day. And I'm just saying here that, like, one of the things that I've noticed certainly about myself, and I'm sure everybody out there is doing some measure of this, but when you're out, let's say, for example, in a grocery store, and you could focus your attention on the world around you, right? And you should. If this is something that you're interested in doing, if you're trying to meet people, you basically need to learn to keep your head on a swivel. And part of doing that, part of maintaining your awareness of your surroundings and being able to analyze and observe and being more effective and more being poised, let's say, to go up and make a cold approach when the circumstance is right and when you choose to do so, is keeping your mind in the game, okay? Now, circling back to what I said in the beginning, when I think of changing your mental gears, there is a certain amount of brain power that goes into shifting your mind out of the real world, even for a couple seconds, looking down at your phone and putting your mind into concentrating on something else, onto this email that you just got, onto this text message that your friend just sent you, onto any number of things that are going to distract you, let's say, from those life moments where you really should be in the moment. You should be almost completely devoting your mental brain processing power to keeping your head up, your eyes out, and observing and looking out for people that you might want to meet. It's very hard to jump back and forth. I think a lot of us do this multiple times. Let's say in the course of, 15 minutes in a grocery store, probably most of us are shifting these mental gears maybe 2, 3, 4, even 5 times, where you're going back and forth between the real world and your phone world, okay? And that takes a lot away from you guys. I imagine that, hear me out here. How many of you have had this experience where you've been in a public setting like that, you look down at your phone, your head's down for a couple minutes, and then you look up and you're like, damn, I didn't even notice this girl. Like, where did she come from? She is gorgeous. She just came out of left field. It's like it catches you off guard. And most of the time when that sort of moment presents itself, you're not in a position to do anything. You probably get the deer in the headlights. You probably are in this state of shock, and you let the moment pass, and she passes by, you walks away, you don't ever get a chance to interact with her. And that's kind of a bummer. I'm sure we've all felt a little bit of like disappointment in those moments where we let those times slip away from us. But imagine if you hadn't gone down into cell phone world and you had your head up the whole time. You would have seen her probably walk in the front door. You would have seen her a few minutes before this proximity event you just had with her, this closeness, and maybe you could have done something. Maybe you would have been in the mindset. You would have been in the moment. Your brain would have been charged up, and you would have been poised, like I said, to actually do something or make something materialize in that moment. And that's just the very big key piece that I'm trying to communicate to you guys here today. And that's the advice, is like, when you are in these situations, put your phone in your pocket, leave it in your pocket. Even if you've got to like put it on airplane mode or something to like force yourself to not look at it. Just try to keep this in mind, guys. Try to maintain your mindfulness in these opportune situations that you're in life. Okay, the cell phone can wait. Odds are, whatever the message is, or whatever the notification is, or whatever you're trying to do on your phone, it can wait. And just think about what you're sacrificing in your life by devoting your time to go heads down into your cell phone. Like, what are you missing in the world around you when you do that? How many minutes of your day have you missed out on? Let's say, how many girls have you missed out on meeting? How many opportunities have you missed out because you were so focused on keeping your head down in the cell phone world and out of the real world? Okay, it's something very, very big to consider and to try to keep in the back of your mind when you're out there. Okay, so just try to remember that, guys. Just understand that there is something to be said for that mental gear shifting, and that just takes resources away from your mind. It takes resources out of your or let's just say it alters the focus of your resources that you have. You should be putting your resources into observing, analyzing, looking out for who's around you in the real world, who you can talk to if this is something that you're interested in, if you're desiring to meet new people. Okay. All right, guys. Hope that makes sense. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We'll talk to you all soon.